We're coming to the end of Season 2 of our realistic Borussia Dortmund's career mode, and although we haven't lived up to our lofty pre-season expectations, we do have a chance to finish the season on a high. We could all but secure European football for Season 3 here in today's episode. Our remaining fixtures in the Bundesliga, not particularly challenging ones to say the least. We'll be taking on Stuttgart in our featured game of today's episode, and I'll be showing you highlights of our follow-up against Darmstadt, and we'll be quick simming games against Hoffenheim and against Hanover. And in addition to the prospect of European football in our next and final episode, we do of course even have an opportunity to put a trophy in the cabinet. And I don't want to get too carried away with matters off the pitch because we do still have a lot of work to do on it, but I have been thinking ahead to Season 3 in terms of some potential transfers. We'll of course be up to Buzzko's CoreDNA calculator to determine our budget heading into Season 3, but I anticipate having substantial funds to work with thanks to that €100 million transfer of Gregor Kobel to Man City in January. And whilst Louis Waters has done an admirable job in goal, actually securing 4 clean sheets in 11 games as well as a 6.96 average rating, I think we have seen his shortcomings in recent episodes. So we will continue to monitor how he grows. He has actually grown an inch. He's up from 5'10 to 5'11. However, I do have my eye on a number of talented young goalkeepers in case we do decide to go that route in the summer. And speaking of talented young players that we might be interested in heading into Season 3, I think it's time to see what our youth scouts have managed to uncover. In terms of true homegrown talent, there aren't too many German youngsters to get excited about. Henry Graf looks fine, and Leon Bergman has 85 pace at just 17 years of age, and he is 1.2 million euros already. However, I'm a little more excited by these young Austrians. Marco Egger, 1.3 million euros at 17 years of age, looks very, very well rounded in the center of midfield, and Lucas Lackner too looks like he could be an excellent young prospect at just 17. However, we're going to be looking to add a little bit of Italian flair heading into Season 3 through Diego Rossetti, through Antonio Rizzi, and through Leo Fontana, whose attributes don't look incredible. He has 3 to 6 play styles, 80 to 94 potential, and is valued at 1.9 million euros at just 16 years of age. Despite all the traits that we've invested in our youth academy in the CoreDNA skill tree, Fontana is so talented and so highly sought after that we still only have a 50% chance of signing him. However, the outcome is a success. Even if we had failed, our academy director would have granted us a second attempt to sign Fontana, and if we failed again, we could have even used the special one, which guarantees a prospect signs once per season. However, fortunately, we can hold those in reserve and just straight up sign Fontana. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes. Whether you're looking for a fun way to expand your own football shirt collection, or you're looking for a unique gift for the diehard football fan in your life, Enigma Football have got you covered. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99, which is almost half the standard retail price, and you can be 100% sure that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and manufacturers themselves. And you can reduce that price even further by using code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. That code applies to any single football shirt mystery box, and it also applies to the first month of any mystery box subscription package, where you'll receive a fresh new shirt on your doorstep every single month. You can be sure you'll get a shirt that you like too. You can ask Enigma Football to send you a shirt from a specific league with a specific color or pattern, or to avoid certain teams, and if you still don't like what they send, you have 60 days to either return or exchange it. So head over to Enigma Football and place your order today. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring the video and for hooking me up with a couple of shirts, including a Dortmund shirt for this series. Now let's get back to the video. We don't have to worry quite so much about Diego Rossetti. We are guaranteed 100% to be able to sign him. So we will do exactly that. And the same goes as well for the right midfielder, Antonio Rizzi. Even Marco Egger and Lucas Lackner, we are able to sign. And the same goes for Marco Fischer, who slipped under the radar slightly. Not the highest potential, but surely is going to have a high overall, valued at 1.9 million euros. Is guaranteed at least one play style, does have 80 pace and even 68 dribbling at 17 years of age. And I do think it is worth adding the Germans, Henrik Graf and Leon Bergman in this round of promotions as well. And we will check in one final time with the scouts before we head into Season 3 officially. And I think we've hit on some players that could really help us out going forward. Diego Rossetti, 6 foot 174, has 74 physical and has 4 really useful defensive play styles. We knew he was going to be good. We knew that Fontana would be good as well. 80 to 94 potential. Again, the attributes not incredible at this stage of his career. Only a 63 overall at 16 years of age. But 4 really useful playstyles, including tiki-taka. Bergman and Egger look like some really exciting technical players. Fischer looks decent, and Lackner looks more than useful up front as well. 6 foot 165 with 74 pace and 63 physical. Chip shot, power shot, and first touch is not bad at all. So we'll hope 1 or 2 of those youngsters can have a better career than Giovanni Reina here at Borussia Dortmund. Reina's been approached by Brighton. Looks like he's going to be leaving in the summer. However, I think it's about time that we focused on football, and our first opponents of the episodes, Hoffenheim. And we do just about manage to come away with the victory. Max Bayer grabbing a goal in the second half to secure all 3 points. And that win sets us up nicely for our featured game of the episode against Stuttgart. So without further ado, let's head over to Signal Iduna Park, see if we can make it back-to-back wins, and see if we can keep this late season surge going. So we continue to turn things around late in the season. Put ourselves in a much better position in the Bundesliga, up to 4th now heading into today's game. And of course we have the opportunity in the final episode, I think probably the final game of Series 2, to put a trophy in the cabinet. Kivior finds Julian Brandt. Makoko already in behind. And the same goes for Garassi. Makoko can't quite find Garassi. Garassi does find the ball though, but he can't find a teammate to get a shot away to punish the goalkeeper. I thought we might be in with a chance for a penalty there, as the goalkeeper came rushing out. You don't often see them come rushing out in those kinds of situations unless they're going to get to the ball. But Garassi actually beat the keeper there, as Enzo Mio is offside. Stuttgart, a decent enough team, but I think we should have more than enough to come away with the victory. On paper, we've got more than enough to come away with the victory anyway. Enzo Mio, probably comfortably their best player. Player that I am very partial to myself, particularly in FC. Metcha. Great ball wide to Julian Brandt. Makoko dropping deep. Finds Metcha. And Garassi just tries to slip in behind the back line there. Whereas we wanted him just to hold his position. Perhaps we should have him on something like target forward balanced, just to get him to hold his position there rather than immediately trying to drift in behind. Again, we've made some very slight tweaks to the tactics heading into this game. Very much enjoying the 4-2-4, and I think that has to be our system going forward. But we are continuing to try and tweak it to get the very best out of our players. The changes today are 2 centre midfielders. Ordinarily, we have Felix Mecha, the left of the 2 centre midfielders, on deep line playmaker. And then we have somebody like Marcel Sabitzer on the right-hand side getting forward a little bit more. However, with the way that our fullbacks are configured, actually makes a bit more sense to switch those two. Kuto looking for either Makoko or Garassi. Instead, it falls to Bayer on the edge of the box, who gets the shot away. Garassi competes for the second ball but can't win it. The same goes for Felix Mecha, but I think we will have a free kick. So we have Max Bayer on the right-hand side, Jan Kuto on the right-hand side, both getting forward. So I've actually switched Felix Mecha to the right side of the centre midfield pairing, because he's going to sit in and hold and provide a little bit more cover on that right-hand side, rather than that right side player getting forward as well and us being very exposed at the back. The same goes for the left-hand side as Julian Brand finds Felix Mecha, and Garassi taps it home for the opener. I wasn't sure if he was offside there. Felix Mecha's header initially saved by the keeper, but he couldn't hold on to it, spilled it out into his 6-yard box where Garassi, of course, was lurking, and he taps it home for an early lead here at Signal Iduna Park. A really good free kick from Brandt into a dangerous area, and Garassi on hand. That's going to be one of the easiest goals he will score all season and all career, probably, for Serhou Garassi. And it's been a very, very good start, a very controlled, very professional start. And we have the lead 12 minutes into the game. But as I was saying, we're going to be venturing forward a little more with a left-sided centre midfielder now. And that makes more sense with our left-sided wing-back, or not even wing-back, our left full-back, in Jakub Kivior. Good save from Lotka. Jakub Kivior, who does, of course, sit in on that false-back role. Mecha, Kivior just kind of getting on top of each other, with Mecha holding and Kivior stepping up into that false-back role. So we should have a little more balance again here today. Great challenge from Kivior. And then the only other change really heading into this one, bit of a surprising one, but Marcel Lotka starts in goal. I feel like he deserves a fair shake, as well as Louis Waters. Kuto lofts it up towards Garassi. It falls for Makoko. Can't quite get the shot away. But I feel like if we're going to be auditioning Louis Waters for the #1 role heading into Season 3, I think Lotka deserves a fair shake as well. We saw Alexander Meyer start against Hoffenheim. Oh, and Kuto has been completely removed from the equation there by Enzo Mio. So Meyer start against Hoffenheim, but Lotka gets the start here. Kuto finds Makoko, and it's a great ball into the path of Max Bayer, who is away. Garassi in support. Bayer goes himself, fires a cross goal, and Garassi can't quite tap this one home, and I think this time he is offside. But again, Garassi causing some issues in the 6-yard box, and he did just drift this time. Only just, though. But just enough for the linesman to put his flag up. But we are causing Stuttgart no end of issues down the flanks already. And I'm not sure if right wing would be the best position for Max Bayer. We have, of course, earmarked that role for Karim Adeyemi, but he is out for the remainder of the season, and Max Bayer is doing a more than adequate job in his stead. Nicely worked by Stuttgart, who themselves are having some success down our right-hand side. But this is the price they pay. Max Bayer, excellent feat, lunging challenge from the Stuttgart midfielder, hacking down Max Bayer in the centre circle. And I think it's going to be a booking, and it is. Hopefully Max Bayer is okay. Ailing a little bit as he gets back to his feet, but we will get the game restarted from the free kick. Max Bayer does appear to be fine. He finds Jan Kuto on the right-hand side. So again, we'll just cross deep, looking for Makoko. Doesn't quite fall for Sabitzer on the edge of the box, but we will press Stuttgart here with Makoko and pin them back. Guirassy up high too. Brandt joining the press now as well, but quickly retreats as the ball is lofted over his head. Very, very good start to the game. This is the kind of performance we need to show a little bit more often. Just more secure, more settled, more professional, less nervy. We've looked nervy at times this season, particularly defensively. Mecha just about finds Brandt. Can't quite take it down on his chest. Brandt, of course, one of the players who is going to be on that short list of players to potentially be sold heading into Season 3. And that maybe wouldn't be such a bad thing because although he's one of our highest overall players in this new 4-2-4 formation, he doesn't really have a proper home. We're playing him out on the left-hand side today. He can play in centre midfield alongside Felix Mecha, but neither is his best role. We don't have a place for a true number 10 any longer. Max Bayer, can he bring that down? Not quite. Get there, Guirassy. Guirassy does win the second ball this time. Mecha will find Couto, who will just drive and will put it low across the 6-yard box. And Sabitzer will get there now too. Just lays it off for Mecha. Finds Julian Brandt, who cuts in off the left-hand side, and that is what we want him doing. When he is playing out on the left, he's cutting in onto his right foot and curling some shots away from the edge of the box, but poor touch initially didn't allow him to do that. Good defending, Jakub Kivior. Mio in the box. Wide by, I guess, Demirovic. Lotka flying away to his left-hand side. Thankfully, wasn't on target because I'm not convinced he would have got there. Mecha. Brandt once again in space. Oh, and that's a poor pass. That's a really poor pass. I didn't see the Stuttgart player lurking there. Just wanted to lay it back to Jakub Kivior. Not sure why I didn't see the Stuttgart player. He is wearing bright red. It's not exactly as if he was camouflaged against the grass or even against our yellow and black kits. Sabitzer trying to put in the challenge but can't win it back. Nicely worked again from Stuttgart. Kivior good defending, saved by Lotka and bravely out of the feet of the Stuttgart attacker. Guirassy nods it down for Bayer and there is space. Mittelstadt, a player that a lot of people in the comments wanted us to sign heading it into Season 2. Defending Max Bayer. And Mecha. It's not a great strike. It's not a great strike. Drifting forward from his more defensive role, Felix Mecha. But didn't really get solid contact on that shot. You have Darmstadt coming up next, a very winnable game, and Hanover to round out the episode as well. I think is going to give us a really good opportunity to take 12 points from 12 in today's episode. It's a lofty goal, but based on the opposition, I don't think it's an unreasonable goal. I think Stuttgart really should prove to be our toughest test in today's episode, and we do already have a 1-0 lead against them. So if we can hold on to that, I think 12 points from 12 really should be the expectation rather even than the hope. Kivior. Schlotterbeck. Just allows it to run and then finds Anton. Jan Couto nowhere to be seen on that right-hand side. So we'll just go via Kivior into the path of Max Bayer. And there's Jan Couto, who has picked up a knock apparently. Offs it into the box towards Guirassy and hooked clear by Stuttgart. We'll see if Couto's able to run off that knock. Of course, we do feel a little more comfortable without Jan Couto now, thanks to the addition of Przemysław Frankowski, who we did bring in January. Ordinarily, we'd be a little reluctant to take Couto off because Ryerson would be his only replacement. It's a poor pass from Kivior. Couldn't quite find Brandt. But Frankowski, very similar player profile to Jan Couto himself. So we do feel a little bit more comfortable making that change at half-time if necessary. The Coco dropping in to just make sure that we get to that half-time break with a 1-goal lead. Kivior out there defending too. The Stuttgart man twisting, turning, crossing deep towards Dennis Undav at the back post. Who takes on Jan Kuto, gets to the byline and twists inside. But thankfully it's a poor cross in the end and Max Bayer can hook clear. Surely there's a handball in there, ref. And there is. I didn't think he was going to give it for a moment. But the Stuttgart player almost catching the ball there. As we will simply allow the clock to run out and head into the break with a 1-goal lead, which indeed we do. Jan Kuto looks as though is still ailing from that challenge, so we may be looking to bring him off at half-time, but a decent enough performance from Marcel Lopke in the first half. Decent enough performance all around. Not spectacular by any means, but more than enough to get the lead at half-time. And I think if we go out and put in a similar performance in the second half, similarly assured, we should have enough to get all 3 points. If you're enjoying the game and today's episode, please take a second to like the video. And if you want to see more realistic FC 25 content, be sure to subscribe, not just to catch the next episode of this series, but other realistic career modes, realistic rebuilds, slider updates that might be dropping in the future. And if you want to get ahead of the curve and see those kinds of videos before anybody else, consider becoming a 12th man member of the channel. Membership starts at just $1.99 a month and grants you exclusive early access to all new videos, with tier rewards scaling up from there and including the possibility of being featured in my career mode saves. Thank you to everyone who is already supporting the channel through their membership. It is genuinely very much appreciated and helps the channel to run. But now let's head back out for the second half. So we have had to make that change at half-time. Frankowski on the right-hand side. As we said, it shouldn't really affect the way that we play at all. And Frankowski already venturing forward. Really nicely worked down this right-hand side. Offs it up towards Makoko, who wins the header and tucks it in to the far corner with pinpoint precision. And within seconds of the restart in the second half, we've doubled our lead. Looked routine, that attack down the right-hand side, as if we planned it from the kickoff. We didn't. It's just the way it played out, but it's a pinpoint cross from Frankowski, who looks to have been an excellent addition in January. I can't see Julian Ryerson, as useful a player as he is, doing any of the things that Frankowski's just done. Ryerson, a solid player, but just not the profile of player that we want on that right-hand side. He's not good at the things that we want our right back to be good at. Frankowski is, and we've seen it there. So we should feel a little more assured now. 2-goal lead to defend here in this second half. Stuttgart haven't shown us too many reasons so far why we should be too concerned that we can't come away with all 3 points. Frankowski finds Zabitzer, and Kivior finds Makoko. Big switch of play to Bayer, and he's going to be able to combine with Frankowski here to get in down the right-hand side. We're not going to cross it in this time. Didn't fancy our chances in terms of numbers on that occasion. Garassi and Makoko very much outmatched by the Stuttgart defenders. I would like to have made something a little bit more of that, though. Did have an opportunity to find Felix Metscher, again drifting forward from his defensive position. But in the end, it was poor. And that's going to be a foul, apparently, according to the referee. Thought it looked a good challenge, personally. But Stuttgart with a chance to pull one back here. They do go short. Julian Brandt out to meet them. Gets in the block. And we just need to clear the penalty area here and try and get upfield. Try and force Stuttgart back. Max Bayer dropping in to defend on the right-hand side. Getting a good foot in. As does Frankowski, and just plays it off the Stuttgart man and out for a goal kick. Excellent defending. As we see Makoko's goal again. Excellent header. Not the tallest or most dominating aerial threat, Makoko, by any means, but You wouldn't have guessed it based on that header. Absolutely pinpoint. Schlotterbeck out to Brandt. Into Zabitzer, who just finds Felix Metscher. Can feel Stuttgart pressing a little more now. That's a really good run in behind from Max Bayer. He cuts inside to beat his man, fires with his left. Blocked by the covering defender. Stuttgart pressing high, which means we have to be wary, we have to be vigilant in possession. But it does mean that they could be even more exposed defensively, particularly down their flanks, as the likes of Mittelstadt continue to venture forward. Enzo Mio easily cut out by Metscher. We've kept him sufficiently quiet so far today. Enzo Mio was concerned about him heading into the game for sure, but hasn't done too much of note. I mean, he's been... What a run that is from Bayer. Is that a great ball from Metscher? There's a little too much on it. Just a tad. Decent effort. Mio's been the best of what Stuttgart have had to offer on in attack. But it's not been enough for them so far. And hopefully that continues to be the case here in the second half. I think Stuttgart edged possession in the first period, to be fair to them. They just didn't do too much with it. Frankowski, one-on-one. Again, what a challenge. And the referee again takes pity on Stuttgart. Gives them the free kick. Absolutely outrageous decision. From what I can see. That looked to be an excellent challenge. Bayer, one-on-one again as he tries to defend the cross. Again does an admirable job. Nicely worked from Stuttgart though, and Mio lays it off. Zabitzer there to defend as well and force Stuttgart back. Mio drifting, taking up some very interesting positions. That's nicely cut out from Schlotterbeck though, and we can break. Julian Brandt will just find Zabitzer. Mio's been drifting today. He's been picking up positions on either side of the field. As Frankowski gets forward again, and he's going to look for Moukoko again. Head is clear at the back post by Stuttgart. We will pressure their keeper and their defenders with Moukoko. No mistakes though. All calm and collected at the back. Vanderman for Stuttgart. Lozano as well. Once again nicely worked, and here's Enzo Mio taking up an interesting position. He finds little pockets of space, Enzo Mio. Great defending, Kivior. And it's going to be a goal kick. Doesn't even force the corner. Manages somehow to put it out for a goal kick instead, which Lotka will take. Probably make some more changes in the game here soon. Only about 20 minutes to go. The second half has gone quickly. And I am fairly grateful for that, to be fair. Brandt back to Zabitzer. Just finds Kivior. And there's Garassi in space. Who lobs it up towards Max Bayer, who can't quite bring it under control. Good position taken up from Garassi on the edge of the box. We just needed a man to run off him. Max Bayer did that, to be fair. We just couldn't bring it down with Bayer and get the shot away. Good pace from Lozano. Kivior just about stays with him and cuts it out as he tries to find Mio. Bayer on the right-hand side. One-on-one with Mittelstadt. And we'll just hold possession. We don't need to take him on. We can just go back to Anton. And Anton! What is that? Really poor pass. Invites pressure where there was none. Absolutely none. Mio taking on Zabitzer. And if we concede from this, which thankfully we don't, if we would have conceded from that, would have been absolutely outraged with Valdemar Anton. Absolutely no excuse. No reason there to invite that pressure. And Julian Brandt, to be fair, has done the same. No reason there to try and force the ball down the wing to Moukoko. And again, we're inviting Stuttgart pressure late in the game. That nervousness, that kind of inconsistency, that poor decision making, creeping back into our performance here late in the game. We saw it early in the season well, really throughout the duration of the season, until the last maybe episode or two where we've been better. We can't allow it to creep back into our play. Let's settle things down again. And let's make sure we come away with all 3 points. Brandt gives the ball away again. Oh, does steal it back though, to be fair. And finds Metcher. Frankowski. Metcher just goes back to Anton. Probably only about 15 minutes, stoppage time included, left in the game. There shouldn't be too much stoppage time. As Brandt will venture forward now. Max Bayer arriving at the back post. Garassi in there lurking too. Yusuf and Makoko also arriving, but couldn't find any of them. What a header that is from Anton. And we find Julian Brandt. They will find Felix Metcher in space. And Bayer. Frankowski on the overlap. We'll just turn back and we'll just try and find Zabitzer, not once but twice. He does get the shot away, but it's blocked. Mio to Lozano. We have to be wary of his pace. Maybe play a yard or two back with Kivior. Kivior was easily beaten for pace by Lozano last time around. And again, this is nicely worked from Stuttgart. And again, Enzo Mio taking up an interesting position. This time more centrally. We've seen him drift out to the left, drift out to the right. This time he picks up a very central position. And again, it's dictating the play. Look at the defensive structure, though. Much, much better with this 4-2-4. And with that slightly deeper defensive line that we did make use of in the last episode. Dropping back to 40 just allows those centre midfielders to support the back four a little bit more. Just a flat back four just inside the penalty area. Zabitzer and Metcher. Come on. Zabitzer and Metcher just patrolling just outside the penalty area. Gives us really good shape. And Lotka finds Max Bayer in acres of space. And Garassi into the box. Can he find a teammate? Tries to pull it back. Dealt with well by Stuttgart. And again, they can come clear. I've been planning on making changes for basically the entire second half. I've not had an opportunity. The ball's not gone out of play for, I think, 30-35 minutes in game. So we're going to have some very tired legs come the end of this match, because we've only made the one change so far. Good block from Schlotterbeck and well watched from Lotka, because that deflection could have caught him out. What a cross that is. Bayer finds Garassi and slipped in behind for Bayer. Almost, at the very least, slipped in behind. But we are now into stoppage time with no opportunities to make changes in the second period. We have 5 substitutions available to us. We've made just the one. So I think it's probably going to be a heavily rotated 11 as we go to Darmstadt. We do have a full week of rest in between, to be fair. Lotka again with a comfortable save. And it will be a clean sheet for Lotka. I think in his debut this season, I don't think he's played either in this season or this series. But he's looked decent enough today. Didn't have too much to do. He defended very, very well. We attacked decently well at times. Again, not a spectacular performance by any means. Makoko ending up with just the one opportunity and no goals, did that say? I don't think either of those things are right. But not a spectacular performance by any means. Oh, actually, so the headers. So this will be why it said one attempt. I can't explain the one goal, but headers, I now use the pass button rather than the shot button. And that's exactly what I did with Makoko there, which allowed us to score. So as we said, not a spectacular performance by any means, but exactly the kind of performance we want to see. Calm, composed, assured, professional. We controlled the game from start to finish. Stuttgart didn't really cause us too many issues, and we took advantage of a couple of key attacks in the game. So very happy with that, and certainly hope to see more of it going forward. So we're looking for more of the same as we travel to Darmstadt for our third game of the episode. Matoma and Jamie Gittins each come in for this one. Max Bayer joins Guirassy up front. Marcel Lotka does keep his place in goal, and Bekir Omaradcic comes in alongside Schlotterbeck in the centre of our defence. We wanted more of the same. We got more of the same. We were putting Darmstadt under pressure immediately. And in the 12th minute, Marcel Sabitzer opened the scoring with this beautiful free kick from 25 yards. Unfortunately, our lead did only last 5 minutes. Our failure to clear a Darmstadt free kick was punished almost immediately. But a frantic 10 minutes culminated in us taking the lead once again. Jan Couto crossing to find Marcel Sabitzer, who headed home from just 3 yards out before a very well-constructed quick counter-attack would give us a 2-goal advantage heading into the halftime break. Darmstadt did come out for the second half with purpose, and an excellent strike from Lewis O'Brien from the edge of the box would pull a goal back for them about 65 minutes in. But a late goal from Jamie Gittins would re-establish that 2-goal lead and give us a comfortable 4-2 victory. Gittins had been getting to the byline and pulling it across goal frequently throughout the game, but this time he finished into the top corner. We said earlier in the episode that 12 points from 12 should be the expectation, and Hanover are now the only team that can stand between us and achieving that, and they do prevent us from achieving that. Guirassy grabs a goal 65 minutes in, which looks as though it's going to give us another 3 points, but an equaliser 3 minutes from time is enough for Hanover to prevent the perfect episode. So it's not 12 points from 12, but I think we can be content with 10. It does create a little bit of separation between us and the rest of the teams chasing Champions League football this season. We're now 6 points ahead of Borussia Mönchengladbach, just below us in 5th, and 12 points behind RB Leipzig with just 3 games remaining does mean that we're going to have to settle for 4th place. However, 4th would be enough to achieve Champions League football, and if we can do that, plus put a trophy in the cabinet, I think we have to be happy enough with how this season turned out. So we have just 4 games remaining here in Season 2, and we will get to each of those in the next episode, including that cup final against Union Berlin. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.